Alrighty. So I thought that 3, 2, 1 was for the round starting, so go ahead and start the time. Sorry. Oh. You want me to stop or just start? Alright, that's fine. Should only be like 10 seconds. Alrighty, so I guess we're jumping into it.
About that. It's late. I'm just trying to get things back on track here.
You're good, you're good. That was my bad. Alrighty, well, with that eventful introduction, I suppose I should introduce myself like I was supposed to before. I am Serenity, Mario Super Sluggers speedrunner from Wisconsin. Howdy, and this is Mario Super Sluggers. My guess is that 50% of you people watching at home have this in the back of your closet. You probably bought it for like $5. You don't remember that you have it, but you have it. But here it is, Mario Super Sluggers. So the point of our little mission here, shouldn't take too long. Our goal is to get 9 players, which is what we need to, make a baseball team, like you do. And then we beat the 2 bosses of the game, which are Bowser Jr. and Bowser. So we do that, naturally, by completing baseball missions, because why would you get baseball characters without playing baseball? So the whole theme of our expedition here initially is getting 9 players in obviously the fastest way possible. Specifically by beating these little missions. For instance, Blue Noki here is our first character. Well, if you saw as I was mashing through some buttons, I got Luigi. We just get him automatically. And then of course we start with Mario. Then our first actual character here is Blue Noki, who challenges us to this little mission here. Use different swings. Very complicated, I know. Most of these early ones are just tutorials on how to play the game. Tutorials are good for us because that means they're nice and quick and easy. And of course, going fast is the name of the game here. So you see 5 simple little swings like that, and that's character number 3, Blue Noki. Like to the X for a little bit. Then right away we start up character number 4, Green Noki. Whose mission is somehow even easier than the last. Throw charge pitch. This one never seems to work for me, so you'll notice me shaking the Wiimote a lot more than I need to, just because when I ever do it, it always seems to just not want to throw it. Of course, it's a Wii game, but the motion controls, it's not perfect. So, throw it. There we go. Boom. Bam. Alright, nice and simple. And then with that, this sort of gets us 2 characters, as you'll see. First, it gets us Green Noki. And then later, she's talking about baby Luigi. We're not going to bother with him because he's out on a bridge somewhere. We're just going to leave him to die. We can get over here. Red Noki. And Red Noki just figures, oh, hey, you got 2 other Nokis with you? Well, then you're probably good. Which, I mean, I am very good, so I can very much see why Red Noki goes for that. And so with that, we're now at 5 of the 9 required characters, and we're going to change scenery here. There's 5 different parks on the aptly named Baseball Island, all with their own slate of I think it's 10 to 17 or something characters in each. I don't know. But whatever. Naturally, we're just going to be bouncing around whichever ones we can get easily. This brings us to probably the best part of this initial character getting sequence, which is this fun little Shy Guy minigame. So we got piranha plants on a Ferris wheel. Sounds like a tough time, maybe we should go up there, cut those lines. No, because we're baseball professionals, we just chuck baseballs at them and slowly kill them. The natural way to get rid of a plant infestation. But we're done. One more. I think it goes 6, 8, 10 for how many plants show up each time. You see, I gotta like shake to reload. Basically, it's just like Fortnite. You just gotta click their heads and then you win. And there we go with the Ferris wheel restore. The reason we do this little mini game is because this is another sort of 2-for-1. Because Red Shy Guy joins up, and his pal Blue Shy Guy is like, you know what, you're pretty cool too. And now we're at 7, just like that. That's all we're gonna do here in Yoshi Park. Meaning we're moving on to the final section of the run, or not the final section of the run, final section of the character getting, which is over here at Peach Ice Garden. Which means we never get to see my favorite location, which is Wario City. Unfortunately, it just doesn't have enough fast characters to get. I don't know. Toad's like, oh, crab apples, let's see what's going on. Bowser Jr. turned Princess Daisy into a statue. Well, like Baby Luigi from before, we're not going to care about Daisy. We get her way at the end of Peach Ice Garden little story, so we're not going to bother with her. We're just going to leave her statue forever. What we are going to do is that little twisty-turny puzzle there. Kind of opens up the rest of Peach Ice Garden, and just as importantly, gets us character number 8, which is Toadette. Now, naturally, when you complete a mushroom design in hedges, a magical path grows, because, you know, that's just how hedges work. Speaking of hedges, we go to this little shrub over here. Mario says, "It's-a me, Mario," and Green Toad pops out, because he was hiding in there for some reason. He's terrified of Bowser Jr., obviously. Who wouldn't be? Yeah. But, like all normal, rational people, if we hit a wide range in center field 1 out of 10 times, he assumes we're the greatest baseball players ever and will certainly defeat him. Let's see if I can get this first try. It's tougher than it looks. That should be good. Alrighty. So, nice and simple. And Green Toad makes our 9th character, which is the end of sort of part 1 of 3 of this little run here. Black 2 is going to inform us that we can now challenge Bowser Jr., which is our 2nd part of the run. From now on, we won't be seeing all these different little fields getting characters or lineups. Now, the rest of the run is just 2 games. The first one against Bowser Jr. and the second one against Bowser. They both have slightly different strategies for them. Well, they can be the same, but they're, to be fastest, they should be different. I'll explain what I mean later. You'll see what I mean with that for the Bowser game. The Bowser Jr. one is comparatively much more boring. You'll notice I turned Mercy on. That's a bit of a teaser for what I'm going to do in the Bowser game. In the Bowser game, it's fast. I guess I should just go ahead and say it. In the Bowser game, it's fastest to beat him in 1 inning with a Mercy rule, beating him like 10-0. Well, that way it'll just end in 1. And this is a new setup, so I got to do that batting practice thing that I haven't seen in years. And I got out because I suck. So the goal for the Bowser Jr. game is a much more simple one. It's, we get 1 run, and then just essentially shut him out 1-0. Nice and simple. Ideally, Mario can like hit a homer on that first swing, or at the very least like a double to get him in good scoring position. But he didn't, because as aforementioned, I suck. So we just need to do it this little boring one. Where we get kind of some chip singles. So, shake to dash Luigi in, and we're in. Now you'll start to get your little feeler for the rest of the run. Bunting. Y'all better like bunting, because you're going to be seeing a good amount of it for this run. Yeah, Gooby, get hyped for some bunting. Woo! Who doesn't love bunting? pitching tutorial. Alright. Now the pitching, it's very simple. We'll throw a pitch as fast as possible and then curve it inwards. They seem... That's a random chance error from Toadette, that's nice. But yeah, they seem to have trouble hitting pitches that you curve inwards. So just curve them all in. No. And, well, ideally we get like a ground out on the first pitch, something like that. In this case, I want something like that. Try turn 2. Perfect. Alright. So giving up that single didn't really matter here. And now we hope you like that, because that's the most exciting part of this game. So now we get 2 innings of this. I sit here holding the Z button, and then wait for me to get out. Throwing, I know. I'm sorry if it's too much excitement for you at 6 a.m. But in all seriousness, this is one of the more boring parts of the run. It's literally just, I want the game to be over now that I've scored my run. So we're just gonna get out on the first pitch as simple as possible. Well, when it does get more interesting is when I'm pitching. Although, I mean, to be fair, it's still just me curving it inwards. But at least now I gotta, make some baseball plays. You might have noticed I curved that last pitch outwards instead of in. Because with 2 strikes, they always seem to struggle. I don't know why, but they always seem to struggle on pitches that go outwards. So that's great, like finisher for strikeout. Like, you see that? Whenever Mario gets a strikeout, he does do that little, like, yay, I got a strikeout animation. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but, it's a good guaranteed out, and that's what's important. So obviously the worst thing is get up a run, and then I gotta, like, actually play the game instead of just holding the Z button. Which is boring. You might notice I'm pausing before every at-bat. You've probably been wondering why. It's because every character's got a little, like, walk-up animation. They range from sort of slow to takes an ungodly amount, like 5 seconds. But luckily pausing cancels their little animation there. So we can do that nicely. I mean, it only saves like a second or 2 each time, but of course we're going to be getting a good amount of at-bats, so it adds up quickly. And with that said, we're just about towards the end of the run here. Or not, I keep saying the run. Towards the end of the game. It's like part 2 of the run. Simplify out. And that's the game. With that said, we can now move on to part 3, the final section of this run, which is the most difficult, naturally, what you'd expect. It's the final boss battle against Bowser. And now I should go more in depth about like the strategy for Bowser. So the plan is avoid outs for as long as possible. So you noticed in the first inning there, I'm doing a lot of like slap singles, not really risking anything, going for deep shots. That's the name of the game for Bowser, because the goal is to put up 10 runs in 1 inning. If I can do that, it doesn't really need to be fast, because, I don't play the last 4 innings. That's one thing I forgot to mention. You might be wondering why we do this in Bowser, but not in Bowser Jr. That's because the Bowser Jr. game, as you saw, is 3 innings. Meanwhile, the Bowser game is 5 innings. And that subtle little difference is what makes this strategy more viable. Well, and with that all said, here we go. My commentary is probably not going to be the best, because this is the one part of the run where you really got to focus it. It's very easy for one of these little loop singles I'm trying to go for to turn into like a line out to the shortstop. But if that happens, it's almost a guarantee that they turn double play on you if there's anyone on second. I don't know, it's kind of a whole thing. So you see, I'm going to be very conservative on the base paths. I'm pretty much just taking the single and running with it. That's exactly what I said would happen, though. Yeah, and that's why it gets tougher. It's a little easier in some of the bigger runs, like all characters, which is pretty much the Mario Super Sluggers 100%. But with this, you know, these characters, it's not like I chose the best characters for that. I just chose whatever characters I could get quickly. Yeah. And with me putting up that goose egg right there, which is pathetic, even by my standards, we're gonna shift strategies. So, like I mentioned before, there's kind of two ways to play this boss battle. The quicker version, is Mercy, like I mentioned before. The other strategy is going with the bunting, like in the Bowser Jr. game. I really don't want to do that, because it's more boring and it's slower. But with me putting up that 0, I mean, because in a rough comparison, a 2-inning Mercy is about the same as like a 5-inning with the button. And so considering that, you know, maybe if I had put up like 5 runs in the first inning, you know, I probably would have kept going for the Mercy, yeah. But since I've been told we gotta keep the schedule moving, I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but we're just gonna have to go with this one, yeah. Then you'll see, of course it is 0-0 here. That's because I'm saving myself for later to get that one run. Because in case you've never played this game before, you'll see on the bottom left, there's in the bottom left there, each person's got a little rainbow meter that's counting up like to 5. It's called the star meter, and whenever that fills up, it's 1 or 2 depending on the character. You can use 1 or 2 of those like star points to do the cleverly named Star Swing, you know? And that's pretty much, specifically for Mario, he gets this like fiery shot that's pretty much impossible to beat, meaning it's almost a guaranteed double. So as such, I'm saving time. I'm going this way. So now you see Mario's coming up next. There's another thing with Star. You can do a Star pitch, like you saw there. Except Bowser's just really bad. It just goes quickly, but you just gotta learn the timing for it. But anywho, now that Mario's up, do my power Star swingy here. And now I'm gonna try to score a green toad from first. And you see and your boomerang bro hits the lava, so I can do it fairly easy. Yeah. Now with me up 1-0, we return to our time-honored strategy of bunting. Just little base runnings, tricks like that, trying to give them a double play. A little bit of time save here, a little bit of time save there. And yeah, with me scoring that run, the run's pretty much done by this point. Unless I choke it in one of these last 3 innings, which is certainly possible. Obviously, with any game, there's some randomness to it. You know, they string together a couple hits at the wrong time. Fielder commits an error. Or Bowser has a tendency to just like hit solo home runs and completely ruin your day. Yeah. So whatever it may be, it's certainly not like over, but it's kind of a victory lap at this point. Of course, as I'm saying that, they got runners at second and first, and I'm drastically losing time because all these are with 2 outs. Now if Bowser Jr. does a star swing, I might be in trouble. Okay, I might be in trouble. Bowser Jr. Star Swing is probably the best in the game. It's very hard to get this dive, and I did not get it. Okay, so now we're in trouble. Alrighty, so now you get to see the fun world of backup strats, because that was not supposed to happen. So now we're tied 1-1, meaning I gotta play the game a little more. Since just I obviously don't want to reset the game. The last thing I want to do is do the whole thing over again. I'm just gonna try again here. It's a little more stressful now, so I can't remember the last time, even in practice, I've given up a run to Bowser. Magic Koopa, watch yourself trying to make that jumping catch. Get out of here. These star pitches, like, they're easy to hit, but of course I jinxed it now. This isn't the greatest run. Alright, get Red Donkey to third there. Nice hit to the right side. And just one more good hit, and I should have stop star pitching Bowser, please. Alright. There we go. Now, I could try keep going for an insurance run, but I'm gonna trust myself and try to just go here. I don't think I'll give up another one. Like I said, I normally don't, but I told you sometimes it just kind of happens. Bowser Jr. star swing's really good, so if he gets some runners on base before, you know, that kind of thing can happen. High fly ball, easy out, but takes a little time in the air. Not really too concerned with going fast at this point, because this isn't looking like the greatest run in the world. But we're now into the final inning. So I don't want to call it a victory lap, because the last time I did that I gave up a run. But now we're finally mostly done. Probably, yeah. Couple more bunts, and then 3 more outs.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty. Now bottom of the 5th. As long as I can get these 3 outs without giving up a run, the timing will stop on the final out. 3 more. Nice. Ground out first pitch. That's just like the perfect thing to get. And my Wii remote chooses not to work at this time. It's stupendous. Alright, one more, bro. Come on. What is this? Oh, come on. Oh boy. This is rough. First time Bowser Jr. is going to come up, it's going to happen to me again. Really got to get this out before Jr. shows up. Alright, that's time. That was far from a perfect run. Ideally, I'd do a little something better for y'all, but that's Mario Super Sluggers. Certainly a fun run. Like I mentioned, I'm sure half of you have this in your basement. Go give it a whirl. Well,
Thanks for coming out and doing the run for us.
no problem.
So, everyone, stick around. We got Toe Jam and Earl coming. Should be a good time.
Donate to charity. Yeah.